Hey there, observers. This is Taiwan Observer, and we are here today to talk about the tragic train accident that happened out in Hualien. So today we've seen the worst train accident in about 4 or 5 decades here in Taiwan. This accident was even worse than the one that happened in 2018, if many of you may remember that. However, today we're talking about the Taroko Express train number 408 that collided with a truck in Hualien. And let's get right into our first graphic here explaining what happened. So here we can see from the graphic from the CNA, CNA being the Central News Agency, it's their graphic. It explains that near the north end of the Qingxing Tunnel between Heran and Chongde stations in northern Hualien, a truck fell from a railway construction site onto the track. So apparently the construction should have been halted over the long weekend, as the TRA instructed any construction happening over this long weekend to be halted, so it is unclear why the truck was there in the first place. However, as the train was coming into the tunnel, car number 8, which was at the head of the train at the time, struck the construction vehicle that had slid down from the side of the mountain from the construction site down onto the tracks. And after striking this truck, it went into the tunnel and it derailed, with several of the cars hitting the wall of the tunnel. And according to a local journalist, William Yang, which we will get into more later, most of the casualties came from cars 8 and 7, which were at the front of the train. So here in this picture we can see highway number 9. Here's the construction site. Here's the train going into the tunnel. This is the truck that fell off. And 5 of the train cars were stuck in the tunnel, and 3 of them were sticking out of the back. So the people in those cars were able to get out fairly quickly and easily. However, the ones in the tunnel took a lot longer to rescue. Here we can see from a CNA report that there were 51 deaths, which has now been updated and is closer to 54 deaths, according to many news outlets like Taiwan News and also the reporter talking about earlier, William Yang. And in hospital there are 7 people with serious injuries, 32 people who were injured, and 78 others with light injuries. One of the people who died was, in fact, a train conductor who had recently just gotten married. Very unfortunate situation for him and his family. Here, as we can see from this photo, also from the Central News Agency, CNA, this is how the train was stuck here in the tunnel, with car 8 being the one most heavily affected, stuck against the wall, with 7, 6, 5, and 4 also being pushed off of the tracks and into the walls of the tunnel, and cars 3, 2, and 1 out the back, where people were more easily able to leave and get to safety. However, at this time, nobody is currently still stuck in the tunnel. Everybody has been rescued. They have been taken out of the tunnel and are now either in hospital or on their way home. We are going to take a quick look at an animation made by EBC News depicting what happened with the truck and the train today. Here we can see the train approaching, truck sliding off of the side of the mountain, the train striking the truck and then getting lodged in the tunnel. Now we're going to show you what it looks like inside the tunnel with a video from rescue workers who went into the tunnel. As you can see here, many of the train cars are pushed up against the wall, and the car at the front is twisted and mangled. Here we can see rescue workers hard at work. We applaud all of them for their hard work here today. Let's get into what's happening out there on Twitter regarding the situation with the train. So first, President Tsai Ing-wen had this to say. In response to the train derailment in Hualien, Taiwan, our emergency services have been fully mobilized to rescue and assist passengers and railway staff affected. We will continue to do everything we can to ensure their safety in the wake of this heartbreaking incident. The reporter we were talking about earlier, William Yang, is actually a correspondent for DW News, and this is what he had to say more recently, updating us on the death toll. The death toll has risen again to 54, including a 6-year-old girl who was pronounced dead after being sent to a nearby hospital. Public funeral homes have reached full capacity and are now calling for support from private hospitals. So the public funeral homes are full, their morgues can't handle any more people, and now bodies need to be sent to private hospitals until a later date when they can be handled appropriately. As we can see, another child in the accident was a 10-year-old boy who suffered a head laceration and experienced serious mental trauma after the accident. And he lost his mom, whose heart stopped beating on sight. This is very tragic. A lot of lives have been forever changed here today. Here we can see another tweet from William saying, Taiwan's railway administration said it's a 4-day long weekend, that they had already notified all construction agencies nearby that they should stop all construction during the holiday season, but they weren't sure why construction was still going on. And happening around the tunnel, causing the deadliest train disaster in decades. So we can see clear negligence here on the part of construction workers. And more information coming out about the owner of the vehicle, saying that they had parked the vehicle and that they had put on the brakes, hand brakes, because police were suspecting that the handbrake was not activated on this vehicle, and that's why it slid down the side of the mountain and ultimately caused the crash. So we'll have to see through the investigation what exactly comes of this and see if anybody is held responsible for this situation, which at this point seems very likely that there is a single person responsible for this situation. If we go into the hashtag Taiwan train crash, we can see several people from all over the world, all media outlets everywhere talking about this train crash here today. We see news from everywhere, from all over Asia, from Europe, from India. I watched a WeOn News video about it. So there is a huge outpouring of support. Alright guys, that is all we have for now on this situation. We will update you with more information as we have it. Stay tuned to our Facebook page. Our hearts go out to the families and people affected by this tragic event, and we hope that those who are responsible for this can be brought to justice soon. So, we'll see you guys again. This has been the first of many videos to come regarding our new series called The Daily Dose. Actually, it's a rehash of an old series, but we hope to see you there where we will be giving more updates on this incident and future news happening here in Taiwan. This has been Vincent for Taiwan Observer, and I will see you guys soon. Taiwan Observer, out.